Hello, this is Alan with El Auto Club. Today we have a Scion, I believe it's a 2005 Scion XB. We're gonna see why it's not starting. Whenever working on vehicles, I always just like to check the oil. Sounds pretty basic, but that tells me a lot of information about the car. So let's check it out. Here we see, it looks a little dirty, but nothing too crazy. Let's wipe that off to get a more accurate reading. You always want to do this twice. Yeah, it's at a good level. So it has oil. Now, after that, everything on the battery looks fine. There's no corrosion in here, so that tells me that the battery most likely is okay. Next, I'm gonna use a scanner to see if there's any, if there are any codes in the computer. So there's communication with the computer because it is linked. So now we just wait. Cylinder 3 misfire detected. Also, we see that these are not ready for the smog. So either the battery got really low on voltage or someone disconnected it. However, this is stored. Let's see, cylinder 4. These are pending codes, so the computer is still checking for them. Okay, so cylinder 3 and cylinder 4 misfires. Okay, so that's all that we have. Should just be like spark plugs or ignition oil, something like that. And see how it looks like inside of the engine. Here, and then there are two over here on the side. So just be careful, don't be breaking the cover. Then after the cover is off, let's see, we want to make sure that these are plugged in. These were broken. This happens to Toyotas all the time, but they're still in their place, so that should not be an issue. Now you want to make sure they're all in the right spot. We have black, white, so that looks about right. These ignition coils are not original from Toyota, so it looks like they've already been replaced. So what we're gonna open this up and get the spark plugs out. Before I proceed any further, you know what, let me go ahead and try to start the car. I want to see how it sounds, because if it's something major, then there's no point of me taking out the spark plugs. Customers say that they drove it last time. Yeah, the battery is extremely low. It sounded like it wanted to start, but it didn't start fully. So at least I know the fuel pump is okay. So we're gonna probably just go get spark plugs and we'll be right back. Here's our first spark plug. As you can see, it does not look good at all. I'm sure after we replace all the spark plugs, the car is gonna start right up. Whenever you're doing spark plugs, you might be tempted to take out all of them at the same time. I recommend to do one by one. Reason for that is because when the spark plug is out, the insides of the engines are exposed and you don't want to drop anything in there. So this reduces that probability. Now, another thing, these are Bosch. The ones that were in there are NGK. Bosch, NGK, usually they're pretty good. NGKs sometimes are even better. You can do research about that. But as you can see on this one, it has this protection right here. Now, I don't like buying the auto lights because a lot of times they don't have this. So sometimes they're at the store, they're busy, they drop the box, and that could actually change the gap on this. And the thing is that these say that you should not gap them. So sometimes there have been occasions where mechanics trust it too much, and when they install it, the car doesn't run right, and that's because they have been dropped before. A lot of times in the box, it'll say to tighten it and then do like a 90-degree turn. I think it's better if you just go by how it feels. So we just did it right now, but basically we went from here to over here. So that wasn't really 90 degrees. You don't want to go too excessive on that. Now, there's a washer right here. The first time when they're brand new, you're gonna be compressing that. But after you use them for the first time, if you ever take them out again, don't go based on the box, because once that's compressed, it won't feel the same. So just go by your feel, okay? So if you feel like it stops right there and it doesn't want to go anymore, just don't try to go anymore. Just keep it like that, because some people They go based on the box or on the books, and the thing is that it's more about the feeling of it. A lot of times I had to deal with spark plugs that are stuck in there because people tighten them too much. Now on the ignition coils, whenever you install them, you want to make sure all the pins are lined up correctly, that there's no damage in here. Sometimes this little piece will actually fall out of here and get stuck in here. Another thing to check is on the inside there's a spring in there. You want to make sure that spring is not crooked, and also if it looks like there's green stuff in there, you want to replace it or clean it with electrical cleaner, because that means that there's corrosion going on with the electricity, or that means that there's something wrong with the spring and it's not making it's not transferring the electricity to the spark plug correctly. Here comes the moment of truth. So here we have the jump starter, so we can see that there's good voltage for the alternator. So now that the car is starting, we're gonna let it run a little bit so it turns into battery, okay?